Welcome back for another video. It's time for the Gameweek 6 episode of the Experts. This series consists of hundreds of top managers, some of the top all-time managers and content creators. Every week we reveal the Experts team before the deadline and look at their transfer plans, captaincy, chip usage and more. This wisdom of the crowd approach will guide you to better decisions and a better rank, plus win your mini leagues. If you would like to follow the series throughout the season, consider subscribing to the channel. Before we get stuck in, a big thank you to Fantasy Football Scout who have sponsored the channel for this season. I've already been a member of theirs for the last 5 years. After stumbling on all the features in the members area, it completely changed the way I play the game. The custom tables are my favourite section. You can build your own tables measuring literally anything you want. I've made all the tables I use in my videos public. If you search FPLfocal you'll find them all. Click the link in the description to give them a try. The top expert after Gameweek 5 is Sergster, currently 1.5k overall after scoring 82 points in Gameweek 5 to secure another green arrow for the 4th consecutive game week. We'll continue to track the top ranked managers every game week and no doubt we'll see some special seasons unfold. Next up, the transfer activity among the experts. A third are rolling the transfer this game week, 38% making one transfer and just over a quarter are making 2 transfers. A few managers are making 3 transfers, all have the wildcard active. 11% of the experts are taking a -4 this game week. On to the most transfer players, and the most popular transfer in this game week is Gross from Brighton, just over 11% of the experts transferring him in. It was very unfortunate for Rodrigo to go off injured in Gameweek 5. Marsh commented that he does not need surgery, but he will need 3 or 4 weeks, so he's an easy sell. Brighton's next 3 fixtures are Leicester, Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, so Gross is a great replacement and he frees up a little bit of cash as well. If you plan to wildcard during the international break, then those 3 fixtures will take you there before Brighton face Liverpool and then Spurs. Newcastle are top of the fixture ticker over the next 5 and Trippier is the second most popular transfer. James was heavily sold last game week after missing the Southampton game, but he's the 3rd most transferred in. Perhaps a few managers reversing the transfer or spotting an opportunity there. Next is Newcastle's new signing Isak, who impressed on his debut with a goal against Liverpool. He scored a well taken second goal as well, but it was ruled offside. Mitrovic makes the list as well. Perhaps Isak or Tony better picks in the short term, while Fulham face Spurs next and then Chelsea before the fixtures look improved. Could this be the game week Fofana makes his Chelsea debut? Only 4.4 mil and a potential season keeper as a 4th or 5th defender at such a cheap price. Him and Saliba look like cheap routes into good defences, freeing up a ton of money to use elsewhere. Unsurprisingly, Rodrigo is the most sold, followed by Robertson, who's yet to register a single big chance involvement this season. His expected goal involvement has halved compared to last season as well. Archer is 3rd, and an obvious consequence of the likes of Mitrovic, Tony and Isak looking like great picks. A few brave managers have dropped Haaland this game week, banking on him being benched, Kane the likely replacement. The upside's absolutely massive if it comes off, but it is a big gamble. A quick look at the chip usage before we look at the expert captaincy and the expert team. There is a wildcard active this game week. They've sent their draft in to us, which we'll look at shortly. Just under 90% still have the wildcard left. No doubt we'll see many of them used between game week 8 and 9 over the break. Ahead of the deadline, we caught up with Adriel, who has his wildcard active. He finished 11k last season and 2k the season before that. He's kindly sent us his wildcard draft, which is on screen. He added that he normally doesn't like to wildcard if he has less than 8 players to transfer out, but he said he feels like he'd want to make the same moves anyway if he were to wildcard in 2 weeks, so the chip is active. He's opted for a 4-3-3 and a few picks here could be really ahead of the curve, such as Zaha and Isak. I asked Adriel about Isak and he said, quote, "I've watched him play and personally really rate him. Also I want to climb the ranks and he's a much better differential than Mitrovic right now with his low ownership." Thanks for sending in the team and best of luck with the wildcard. On to the expert captaincy, and it's a very close one again this week. Salah the favourite with 51.9% of the vote. It was an extremely close one last game week too, and it was the Haaland captainers who came out on top. No doubt among the larger player base, Haaland will be by far the most popular captain, and it's interesting that the experts are backing Salah. It's almost unbelievable that Salah's a maverick pick this game week. It will of course boil down to whether Haaland starts or not. If it were to be benched, the upside is absolutely massive on Salah captain, but then even then Haaland could do damage off the bench. Kane's certainly a very good option too, facing Fulham at home. He's on 4 goals and an assist in his last 4. A couple of managers have opted for Sterling and De Bruyne captain too. On to the expert team for Game Week 6. This is the aggregated team of their highest owned players within budget. The team is as follows. Sanchez and Gross join the team. Brighton have been phenomenal value this season and no surprise that the experts are keen on them. James's ownership has dropped significantly, down to exactly 50% of the experts. Perisic could leave the team by Gameweek 7 after Fulham, with Spurs facing Man City after. It's Salah captain with Haaland vice this game week. You can sense the template's finally shifting in many areas. Big at the back could be on its way out, and mid-price strikers tempting many managers. Fixtures turning for some teams as well, like Arsenal. Each game week we ask the experts to offer their insight for the game week ahead. FPL Geordie said, "The threat of rotation looms large this game week. I'm expecting Perisic not to start, albeit he'll probably come on for a few minutes, so I've left him on my bench. With some tough upcoming fixtures and European matches commencing imminently, I think the ship may have sailed on Perisic for now." FPL Marcin says, "I'm going with Dean Henderson as my Ramsdale replacement. He might be playing for a poor team, but he's a great keeper, facing a struggling Bournemouth side at home this week. He has plenty of saves in him, a very decent run of fixtures until Game Week 16 and a point to prove before the World Cup." Big for FPL says, "The FPL chaos and big swings on close decisions continues, but at least the gap between 10k and 1 mil is currently less than 50 points, which isn't a large amount over 30 game weeks." FPL Note says, "Possibly benching Martinelli away to Man United." FPL Murph says, "Forest always push forward at home, and when you consider Bournemouth's poor attacking returns, this could be a really good week for Nico Williams." FPL News says, "Very split on captaincy between Haaland and Salah. We'll hope to glean anything relevant from Pep Guardiola's press conference." Rugster says, "Wow, what a transfer window. The Premier League clubs clearly didn't get the memo about the cost of living crisis." And lastly, FPL Shambles, living up to the name, says, "I desperately wanted things to be interesting, but I could have done without my 2 Game Week 5 transfers, Dunk and Rodrigo, scoring an own goal and getting injured respectively. Still, this could be the first game week where we really start to see the template being broken, and this is good for the game. If there's ever a week to take a hit, this is it." Thanks as always to the experts for their involvement in this game week, and thanks for watching the video. If you did find it useful, please like it and consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be live exactly 1 hour before the deadline for a deadline stream. See you then.